Hello, and welcome. Today I'm going to be talking about why I play Ryu and Ken in Smash. This is going to be a lighthearted video for once. The reason why is because someone commented saying, why do I play Ryu and Ken on my Q&A video that I made on Wednesday, I believe? Basically, I know no one's really gonna ask me questions. He was the only one, so I decided to answer their question, of course. So here we go. Why do I play Ryu and Ken? Well, actually, this is sort of a thing that applies to a lot of characters that I play, and that is because characters that I play. Sometimes it's playstyle, but most of the time it's because I love them. I have an attachment to them in a sense. Back when Smash 4 came out, when I believe it was Mega Man, Pac-Man, Sonic, and Mario, for me it was like, oh my goodness, all these characters are in this game. I kind of explained that in an earlier video, but basically to sum it up, they are basically, these characters being in made me want to buy the game. I wanted to play them in the game, obviously, which, I mean, I think is a good reason to play a character, right? No? Maybe? I don't know. The problem with those four fighters was, one, I thought I didn't really like playing Mario, I didn't like playing Sonic, Mega Man was too hard for me. Even now I still struggle to play him, and I'm not good with Pac-Man. I mean, I can do some stuff, but I am not as good as like other Pac-Man mains who have like went around the works with him. I'm not like those. So I was kind of disappointed because, aside from playing like characters like Little Mac and Ganon, who were Ganon in this case was like my favorite Nintendo villain, my second favorite Nintendo villain. So I was really happy to play as him, but that was basically it. Ganon and Little Mac. I was excited for Little Mac, but when it came to third parties, I knew that I really needed to play these characters, and I couldn't. Sadly, I'm just not good with them, or I just don't like their playstyle. It's just how it be. So that was pretty unfortunate because I really wanted to play it. I got the game because I wanted to play these characters. So I'm like, oh well, I guess I'll play Ganon and Little Mac, and I believe and I played one more character. Who was it? Well, regardless, I don't remember at the time, but I got the game for them. Wait a couple months after Ryu, Roy were leaked. I was really excited for Ryu. When we finally got him, he was the I only had money for two characters, so I got Ryu and I got Roy, and then like a month later I got Lucas. Basically, when it came to those two, I got Roy because obviously he wasn't in Brawl, so I was like, oh, I gotta play Roy. I wonder how different he is now. But with Ryu, I got him because I remember playing Street Fighter so many years ago, and so I was really happy to see Ryu. As a matter of fact, I even drew this image when Ryu came out with Ken by his side. It was pretty bad, but which I later did redo. But when it came to drawing Ken and Ryu, it was a very weird experience for me. Well, not just drawing, but playing them and drawing them. Well, playing them mostly. Ryu was just a weird character, but I got used to it because I played Kirby a lot, and I played Fighter Kirby. He was my second favorite power-up next to the hammer. So I kind of understood this whole tap and hold concept really well. I got a hang of Ryu pretty easily because of my past experiences with Kirby games and such. So I was pretty much accustomed to the character right as he came out. It didn't take me all that long to figure it out. I played a lot of Street Fighter at the time as well, so I knew the inputs, I knew how to do them. It was no problem for me. It was good. But originally, I didn't think he was the character for me. Originally I thought, okay, well, he's too hard. I think I'll just play simpler characters. That's what I'll do. I'll play simpler characters. But I kept going back to Ryu, and I don't know why, but I did. I just kept going back to Ryu. When I saw Ryu, I kept playing him. I just, the more and more, I just kept using him, and I got better with him. And eventually, I mean, it just happened that, well, he ended up being my main, essentially, in Smash 4. He was the main that I've been waiting for, essentially, in a video game, and it was crazy because it was like before. I mean, even though I love playing Gan and Little Mac, I wanted to play someone even more so, like someone who was like more complex and someone who I can really enjoy playing. It just so happened that it was Ryu, and I was really happy. Yeah, and it felt great playing Ryu. I was kind of salty that Ken wasn't in Smash 4, but I mean, hey, you know, I took it. I took it, and I played him. I played him since his release up until the last days of Smash 4, even now. Like, I still love the days I spent playing Smash 4 Ryu. Ryu was such a fun character for me. And yeah, no, I mean, what could I say? It was a great experience. I mean, you know, playing Ryu during Smash 4. So when Smash Ultimate was announced, I was really hoping he'd come back because he was my, obviously when it comes to like your main in the previous game, you want him back for the next game. Which is why, like, some people just end up maining the essential basic characters because they know they're gonna be there in the next one. But I was hoping for Ryu above all characters to make it back. When I saw he made it back, I was so happy. But then they showed that he had auto turn, and that was very disheartening in a sense, because I really liked using my back air constantly as like a spacing tool essentially during Smash 4 days. But I mean, it was a hard hitting move, killed pretty early and stuff like that. So I was kind of a bit sad by that. But I realized, hey, you know, I can just roar, right? Like, you know, because Ryu and Ken still turns during running. So I knew I could spam back air, not as easily, but I could not spam it, but you know, use it. It's usable. I can make it work. Is what I mean. And so yeah, I was generally happy with Ryu, and then later Ken was announced, and I was excited because, you know, sort of like, man, I said I really wanted Ken in Smash 4. Here he is now in Ultimate. It was really cool. Of course, Ken. While I was excited for Ken, that whole thing was soured by a certain leak, but which was fake, of course, but I was still happy for Ken. I was so excited to play as Ken during the days and weeks leading up to the release. And so I unlocked Ryu, I unlocked Ken, and I was not satisfied with them. Now going into it, I did expect them to be toned down, but Ryu to be toned down. But Ken was also not that great. They gave him proximity, heavy jab, and F tilt light. I guess that's good, but I mean, like, proximity jab was basically just hard up tilt. There was no real reason for it to exist, and proximity F tilt was the best way to get kills with Ryu Shoryuken, but I mean, Ryu had lost his Smash 4 Nair. Like, his Smash 4 Nair, like, was in my opinion the second best move in his kit. Second to only Shoryuken, but in Smash 4. But in this game, it's sort of like get off your move, I guess you can say. It lasts way too long for you to do anything out of it. That sucks. And they added the ability to cancel off of aerials, but I mean, for Ryu, I mean, up air, the first hit of up air could be canceled in a Shoryuken, so that made that aerial Shoryuken a bit better to do. But I mean, they were pretty much neutered. In Ryu's case, it was pretty much neutered completely. Like, I understand what they were trying to go for, but Ryu was just really bad, and Ken wasn't that much better. He was better than Ryu, definitely better than Ryu, because Ryu just sucked. and Ken was just better. But I really wanted to play them, but I didn't feel comfortable playing them anymore because I'm putting in all this work, but not getting any reward off of it. It was only like I believe like 2 months before patch 30.1 where I started playing them again, thanks to a friend of mine, Ren Ready. He told me, you know, use Ken. I have a feeling you'll like Ken. So I did. I played Ken, and I did. You know, I ended up liking him. I ended up loving playing him. I was really happy to play him. A part of me still felt like I should have just dropped the characters because, again, I'm putting in all this effort for barely any reward. I mean, in Ken's case, it was better than Ryu's, but still, it wasn't a great feeling. After 3.1, however, you know, obviously I started playing them more. Ryu and Ken were far different than ever before. Ryu and Ken are basically, they don't play anything like they do comparative to each other. It was good. It was great. I really loved it. I didn't think one patch would just make them both not only unique in their own way and playstyle, but made them better. And I felt like there was an actual reason to play them, because again, they're hard. You have to put a lot of time into them, essentially, to do combos, to do setups and all this sort of stuff. They're hard characters to play. Yes, I know, like, people say, oh, auto turn gives you, like, you know, free, like, you don't have to worry about people crossing up or anything. Yeah, it's true. And that is true. Like, they do have a help me up, like a help me up. But I mean, even then, even with that, there was still no reason to play the Shotos, essentially, because of how weak they were previously. But now there's a reason to play them. You know, you know, when you it was sort of like this thing where it's like hard to play, no reward. Now they're hard to play, but there's a ton of reward. They still struggle a lot in matchups, but they're definitely at a better place than they were prior to then. And, you know, in a sense, you could kind of feel bad for Shotos because, again, Shotos were just basically, they were characters that you if you didn't, how do I say this? If you weren't committed to them, then there was really no point at all to playing them. So yeah, I mean, I just got back into them. They're my mains, Ryu and Ken. I play them all the time. It's kind of funny how things turn out. I was really happy with how they turned out, and it felt right, because, yeah, like I said, when it came to like other characters like Mega Man, Pac-Man, you know, the works, I didn't like playing them. Even though they were a huge part of my childhood, like Sonic and Mario especially were a huge part of my childhood. Pac-Man, Mega Man, like, I really loved those characters, but I just couldn't get into them, and it kind of sucked because I was playing Smash 4 and Ultimate, playing characters that, well, I may have experienced before, yes, with like Ganon or Snake or whatever. I've experienced them before. None of them have affected my childhood. None have affected me in a way that Street Fighter, Mega Man, you know, all these icons have, but it was kind of messed up to play characters that, to me, I never grew up too much with. You know, and the same applies to Simon, by the way. I just didn't like Simon's playstyle. Like, Simon was another character I really wanted. He was a part of my childhood as well, and I like his playstyle, but it's too, like, campy for my taste, in a sense. You know, I like playing aggressive characters, essentially. If I have to zone, I zone, but I also want to mix and match that with being aggressive. Essentially, Ryu and Ken, they clicked for me. And that's sort of why I still play them now, and I hope that they never leave, because I really love these characters. I hope they stay in the Smash Brothers series for good. Hopefully, I doubt it. I doubt they'll bring them back every game, but when it came to Ryu and Ken, I finally felt at ease knowing I have characters that I can play, that I can enjoy, that I've played their games throughout childhood, that I've grown up with, that I've loved playing throughout all these years. It felt satisfying, and I honestly, if I would have honestly felt guilty not having a character like that in Smash, where I can say I enjoy their playstyle. You know, like they always, like how people always tell you, you know, just because you like a character doesn't mean they're the one for you. Like just because you played like Legend of Zelda doesn't mean that Link, Zelda, like any of those characters are for you. That they're, you know, there's probably a character that you're probably the best in the world with, but you refuse to play them because oh, I played this franchise, you know. So for me, I didn't want to. For me, it was sort of like I grew up with many franchises. I want to play one of these franchises as my main, and it just turned out to be Ryu and Ken, you know, and that's just how it is. I grew up with these characters, and do I ever regret maining them or any sense? No way. I love them. They're my favorites. I hope to keep playing them for many months, years to come. So yeah. Well, with all that being said, I really hope that answers the question on why I play Ken and Ryu, despite, you know, not being scripted. I might have repeated myself a couple of times, but you know, I think the lesson here really is just play who you love, regardless of how good or bad they are. Play who you love. Play, or whether you love them for their play style or you love them for, you know, just because you had fond memories of them. You know, as long as they're the ones for you and you feel comfortable playing them, play them. You know, there are a lot of characters in this game, but I think the best characters in this game to play are the ones you grew up with. I think those are the most cherished of memories, is when something from your childhood is something you can enjoy even now. And that's why I play Ken and Ryu. So yeah, that's basically it for this video. If you have any other questions and want me to do a video topic on, just leave it in the comments. I'll gladly do them, you know. It's just, you know, it's for fun. At the end of the day, these videos I do, they may be think pieces and such. I may not fully put together my thoughts because, again, these are unscripted, but I'd rather them be unscripted because it lets you know that, yeah, I'm being a stuttering fool, but at least you know I'm being genuine, you know? Like, I'm not just trying to read from the script and try to sell an emotion. I'm doing this because I think the best way to show your emotion towards something or your passion for something is when you do things without a script, because then you aren't sounding like a robot and you're putting your full emotion towards it. And that's why I do these unscripted. Yeah, I'll have scripted videos, but when it comes to these rants and all these sort of stuff, my passion, answering questions, for me, I think for me personally, I think it's best that I personally do these unscripted, so that you, the viewer, audience, you know, may get my full take, my full opinion on a certain subject, and not having to think that, oh, I'm just reading a script that someone else made for me or whatever. No. These are my full thoughts, these are my full opinions, and if I'm gonna sound like a stuttering fool, you know, well, I'm gonna sound like a stuttering fool, but at least my genuine emotion is out there, and that's the best part of doing these rants and discussions, is when I don't have something to read off of when I do talk about these by my heart, you know. That's all I can really say. And I think that's the most important part about creating these videos for me, is that as long as I can get my voice out there with my emotions and all this sort of stuff, then you know what? I'm doing right by me. So yeah, I kind of went off on a weird tangent, I know, especially after doing a Ken and Ryu video, but I mean, what can I say? It's these sort of things just come over my mind. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Subscribe, like, and comment, and also if you like the content, hit the notification bell. Yeah, whatever. I don't fuck the heck, man. Why do people do those things? I don't get it. Anyways, bye bye. Peace.